Okay, well, we appreciate everybody's time. The topic for today is, can you really manage your IT from the cloud? It is now May, unbelievably. We made it through the winter, and we're excited to be able to have the tools and have some of the content for our audience here just to learn and understand more about what's happening in the cloud, what you can do now without any on-site IT, without any local PCs, any local servers. Just a little background about me. I've been in the IT industry for about 16 years, and in previous lives have been in the managed infrastructure, managed hosting business, and I'm currently responsible for our cloud computing product line, which includes everything from hosted exchange, desktop as a service, cloud backup, disaster recovery as a service, virtual data center, and any of the other up-and-coming products that we're focused on here. So it's really a pleasure to spend some time with everyone. The agenda for this afternoon is to start, we're going to talk about ways in which ITaaS and IaaS, two of our most favorite acronyms, can benefit your organization. We're going to then shift over to some comments and notes on bring your own device and why that phrase is haunting many IT admins and what can be done about it. We're going to talk some about managing mobile devices and all the mobile device sprawl that has really occurred out in the marketplace. What do you still need to do on site? It's a huge question that a lot of our customers come to us with. And then last, we're going to talk about some of the technologies available with ITaaS, which, by the way, stands for IT as a service, as well as IaaS, which also, by the way, stands for infrastructure as a service, if you haven't seen that term yet. So that'll include MDM, mobile device management, RMM, which is remote management and monitoring, DaaS, desktop as a service, and of course, desktops and servers. So we love acronyms at Evolve IP. We can't take all of the blame, though. It's the industry that's doing that, and we're just keeping up. So let's jump right into it. How can IT as a service benefit your organization? So right out of the gate, cloud-based solutions, what do they really provide your organization? Increased agility, scalability, and cost predictability. So when we deliver a cloud-based solution, we're helping customers dramatically increase their time to deliver. Sometimes in the sense of weeks to months instead of 12 months to a year plus on certain projects. And we see that with all different kinds of IT services, disaster recovery when we deploy virtual data centers and even desktops as a service. We're able to quickly deliver those resources. And it's a huge benefit to any organization because they don't have to spend the time designing and architecting and planning and paying for the consulting and the resources to design them a custom solution. So very much so an agile, strategically benefit there. Scalability is also really important. We know that traditionally IT has, at the time of purchase of their assets, are immediately blocked in with whatever capacities they foresee the business needing in the next, usually it's a 3 to 5 year period. So scalability has never really been a luxury of IT unless they exceeded budgets and planned ahead and really took some chances on where they were going to be going and growing as an organization. So the cloud really helps that, and obviously with the economics, you don't need to spend in advance for what you think you'll need tomorrow. When we talk about scalability, we're talking about buying what you need today and growing into and paying for it only when you really need it. That's a huge benefit, and we're sitting with CIOs and CFOs and IT decision makers every day having this exact conversation. Cost predictability really falls into the same bucket. So what are some of the use cases and targets here? We're talking about customer prospects with multi-location. Maybe they just have lots of offices with not much IT at each respective office. End user, regardless of type, you're going to have frustrated and overworked IT regardless of the size or even the capabilities of that IT administrator. It's just becoming an increasingly taxed job function. And these are highly technical folks that are just getting pulled in many directions. And we also see a lot of transition towards cloud desktops on this front because IT admins want to stay strategic with their duties instead of replacing desktops on all the employees' desks. So supporting BYOD, the high level here that we're seeing a lot of companies struggle with is that sometimes their device counts are more than doubling, and they have no change in process or procedure to handle that. So employees are expecting to just bring or be provided something other than a PC nowadays. They can bring their Mac because they like Mac and the company doesn't provide a Mac. They can bring an iPad. If they have lots of meetings, they're going to really prefer to be lightweight and mobile and work from anywhere at any time. So working from the cloud and supporting your IT from the cloud, it really works hand in hand with how employees want to work. And they want to have access all the time on any device. What is this doing for you as an IT administrator? You are being pulled in many directions. You're strained. Your resources are limited to the amount of time you have in a given workday. And in a lot of cases, for some teams, their IT is just frustrated because they're continually getting piled on with more chores and more functions. And staffing hasn't changed. So we see that all the time, and we really can help those IT teams be more strategic instead of being more task-oriented. We have some good tools available, which we'll get into for all different kinds of devices out there. Windows, iOS, or Android-based devices are the most common, and that's where we meet the market and deliver some really exciting products. So what is the problem with mobile devices? We've got, like I said, sometimes it's more than double. So if you've just joined as, let's say, an accountant for for any given accounting company, you're going to probably be issued a PC, but you might also be given a tablet for when you go in on consulting engagements or just in general. So you might also be given a smartphone or some other kind of a device, and literally IT is managing almost and sometimes more than double because employees are now being given multiple ways to work. There's no more time to focus on some of the strategic business initiatives like compliance and security, DR, and really all the other types of projects that you will typically see just get backburnered and very seldom get accomplished by internal IT. Learning new devices overnight to support the employees. This is a major task that anyone working in the tech field can relate to, which is new technology comes out, maybe a new operating system or a new interface, and day two, you're asked to support it. And being able to have the time and the resources to learn that new technology is unfortunately just not available anymore. And how can the cloud help us there and alleviate some of those time constraints that administrators have? Supporting Windows have totally changed since now your workers are working at all hours. So if I'm an IT administrator and I'm handling support for my organization, I'm expected to be available 24/7 regardless of the issue, especially for my senior executives who have lots of demands and work at all hours. And what do I do as an IT admin or a support admin? I just have to work more. So this gets IT teams strained, overloaded, and working with an IT as a service, a managed services firm like Evolve IT with all the great tools that we have available has dramatically helped this issue and really helped organizations who are spread thin get some more control over these mobile devices and just keeping them organized and keeping them under management. So the question comes up a lot, and it's that what do I still need to do on site? So if I could manage my entire IT from the cloud, that means that all my support technicians are in the cloud or remote. It means that my servers are in a remote data center. It even means that my desktops and my data, my backups and even my emails and everything else are all remote. So what still needs to be handled on site? And we just came up with a list of real world examples here that we've seen in our experience where the IT person, unfortunately, is getting delegated to do other functions like swapping out printer toner. Yes, you still need to do that because people still need to print on paper with toner and with ink, and it still needs to get done. But does it have to get done by the same person who's patching your servers? Absolutely not. So you still need to be on site and to give someone administratively some other functions, but it doesn't have to be the IT guy. Yellow ink is missing on the CEO's personal inkjet printer. Well, traditionally that was a call to the IT guy because it had to do with a computer in some way, shape, or form. It's now his problem, and he has to drop everything he's doing to unpackage a little ink and insert it into a printer. CFO smashes and breaks his spacebar and his keyboard, a monitor falls off the desk, sweeps, there's a spill in aisle 2, fix the projector, run new cables, change out lighting, put together an office chair, connect the AV system, or even just swapping the water cooler out. These are honest examples of IT functions in some organizations that unfortunately you wonder why your technology is breaking. It's because everything else is being done in a lot of cases by the same individual or individuals, and it's just not strategic. But you still need these things handled on site, and Evolve IP cannot help with these. These are things that should be done by one of the other members of your team. So what about desktop and server hardware? There's many benefits in managing your IT from the cloud. One of them specifically around power and cooling and environmentals. We've got lots of surveys available, and always at the very top of those surveys are what are the biggest causes for disruptions in your business. It's always power. And by having your systems like your desktops and your servers in a remote data center, aka the cloud, you no longer have to worry about the power state of those systems. You're only concerned with getting to them. So there's no more worry about power or cooling or even battery backup systems on premise. If all your users are required to work from a central office and you lose power, well, you could send those users to their home office or a local coffee shop and continue to work. They can have laptops or a tablet, and they can continue to stay productive. Failed hard drives, failed power supplies, no more missing data, no more liability on that missing laptop that your salesperson left at Philadelphia International, and really no more large CapEx expenditure for that hardware that right out of the gate has a limited scale associated with it. No more stressing when the CEO asks for a new project or some additional desktop and server capacity. It really is as simple as dialing up your capacity requirements, and we deal with it every single day with customers who just need some additional resources to do some additional new projects for their company. So some of the types of IT as a service technologies available today: there's mobile device management, desktop as a service, remote monitoring and management. We've also, when we talk about IT as a service, we're also talking about the human component there. So there's help desk and managed IT. These are different programs that are available at Evolve IP that can help you manage your systems from the human side. So have a phone and a friendly person to talk to when you have an issue, let's say an email or your Outlook froze, or you can't find a Word document that you were working on the previous day, or server patching and security. That's all wrapped into IT as a service. And you can see by this example some of the key elements there, regardless of where you're hosting your infrastructure. Desktop management, it's really critical that you understand that you can, regardless of where your desktops and servers are located, you can still perform all the administrative functions through our RMM portal. And if you don't want to be the one taking action on some of the alarms and events that come out of that system, it's a perfect segue into our help desk service, which provides companies with a fully outsourced help desk staff to manage all those servers and desktops and mobile devices and network equipment and the firewalls and routers and anything else that is required to run that business. Just a couple service levels that we have already pre-packaged and available for you. And help desk, managed IT, or ProServe with professional services. These are all cloud-based managed services. We don't send anyone on site. It's all done remotely. It's done quickly and efficiently and very cost-effectively. We just have a couple other help desks, and there was a duplicate there. Just any other questions that you guys might have, we're going to unmute the lines here. It's exactly 2:24, so open this up to anyone else out there that might have a few questions. Just feel free to hit *1 if you do have a question, and we'll be happy to answer those for you.
Hi, this is Louise. I have a question. So we're a mid-sized company, and I'm wondering how implementing help desk, RMM, and MDM will affect my IT budget.
Hey, great question. So what we typically see out there is that you're shifting on the accounting side, you're shifting your capital expenditures to more of an operational expenditure. So, for example, if a lot of companies traditionally every 4 years would spend just, let's say, $50,000 one time through HP, buying all their desktops, new monitors, new keyboards, the whole 9 yards. Instead of doing that every 4 years from the balance sheet and the profit and loss statement and all the different financial statements out there, when you go to a cloud-based model, it's really shifted to an operational expense. So in other words, your budget really, from the balance sheet perspective, is much less, if anything, and from the profit and loss or the income statement perspective is just much different because you're spending more monthly now instead of a one-time upfront. Lots of really good total cost of ownership and economics related value adds going to the cloud, but that's just an example. Really good question. Thanks. Anyone else? Feel free to email in or chat in if there's any other questions. Don't hesitate. And just as a reminder, hit *1 if you do have a question. We'd be happy to field that for you. Okay, well, feel free to reach out to your technology advisor, your CTA, or whoever you partner have been working with Evolve IT. We're happy to follow up with you if there's any other questions. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.